Alright, we're going to make some baked beans today. Finally, I know I've been talking about it for like, I don't know how long. So all I have right is just dried navy beans. Each one of these packs is a pound. This recipe that I have is from what I have learned to be the Cannon Bible. Has all kind of stuff in it about canning, pickling, water bath, pressure can, all that good stuff. So the name of this is Boston baked beans. So it's more of a country style. I did this home style a while back, and it's a lot of tomato in it. I mean, like a whole container of tomato juice. You got crushed tomatoes, you got tomato paste. And by the time I got through making it, I just really didn't feel like it was very appetizing. I'm more of a country style. It's more of the brown sugar and molasses and bacon and onion, that kind of thing. So these are the ones I done last week. And instead of doing a quick soak, I did an overnight soak. And they come out pretty mushy. So what we're going to try to do today is a quick soak. The overnight soak, well, I didn't tell you this part. It's pretty important, I'm sure. When I did the overnight, I did it overnight plus most of the next day. So it was like 20 hours of soaking. That's probably why they came out mushy. So we're going to try this today. So to do a quick soak, all you have to do is you get your beans, you go through them, because with dried beans, you may find a rock, you may find a bean you don't like the look of. I mean, it's just a different color, or, you know, there may be one in it that's black or something that just don't look quite right. So you want to go through and kind of sort out the ones that you just don't want to cook, because it's not going to get better with canning. If it's not good when you put it in there, it's not going to be good when you take it out. So we have 2 bags of the dry beans. 1 pound each. They're 2 pounds in this recipe. So just kind of eyeball them. My smallest boss man is not happy for some reason today, so that's the background noise besides these beans that you hear. So all I'm going to do now is cover them with water. I'm going to boil them for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to turn the heat off, throw a lid on them, and let them sit for an hour. I'm not going to put you through that. Okay, so I've cooked these beans for 2 minutes, and then took them off the heat, put a lid on them and let them sit for an hour. And I got all my stuff ready thinking that after that's when they go in the big pot with all the ingredients. Well, that's not true. So we drained them, rinsed them, filled them with some clean water. They're not, I mean, they're bigger than they were, obviously, but they're not. I mean, like I could, if you mash them, they just kind of split in half. So they're still pretty hard. We're going to cook them until they split. So it says to bring them to a boil and let them simmer for probably about 45 minutes. And it says once they start splitting, that's when they're ready for the other ingredients. So we're going to keep an eye on them and get back with you in a minute, or maybe 45 minutes, I guess. Okay, so our beans have now gotten ready. So there's a few of them that's starting to split there. I bet they probably cooked 30, 35 minutes, something like that. They're ready to go. So I drained them, kept the juice. That's what it said to do. So you need up to 4 cups of, at least 4 cups of liquid. So if you don't have enough to pour off of them to make 4 cups, you can add some water to it. But we're going to mix this stuff together and get it in the oven. It's got to cook 3.5 hours in the oven. So you got to get it in there. So that was 4 cups of the liquid that came off of the beans after they boiled the second time. We got 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar packed. We're going to have 2/3 of a cup of molasses. That's fun to watch, ain't it? I try to do as much measuring and stuff as I could ahead of time so I don't have to deal with watching me do all that. Okay. So I have a whole onion that I diced. It says 3 onions. I feel like that's just a little bit overkill for 3-quart jars of baked beans. You put what you want to in. That's just my thoughts. They also said a ½ pound of bacon, and I cooked like 6 pieces of really thick bacon, and I chopped it just in big chunks because most of my children just don't want a big bite of bacon in their baked beans, and I get that that's probably not a common thing, but I'm cooking for them, so they can shove that wad of bacon to the side, and then if anybody wants to eat it, they can. If they don't, it's easy to find and move. Okay, so we got all that in. And I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of just regular old table salt. Actually, no, I'm going to do 3 because last time I had to add another. I didn't put the amount of bacon in that it said, and I ended up having to add more salt later because I guess I was going to get more salt from that other bacon had I put it all in. So I did tweak that a little bit last time. And then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of just regular ground mustard. And I'm not promoting anybody as far as ingredients, where you buy it from or whatever. I don't work for any of them. I get what I like, what my family likes, and that's what we eat. So whoever the company is may be different this time than it is next time. I'll mix it all up good, and it's gonna go in the oven. And it could be in a Dutch oven, it can be in whatever you have that has a tight fitting lid. That's the key. You want the lid to seal in as much of that moisture so it don't just evaporate out. You're going to have to check it pretty often. To start with, it's just going to sit there and not do much for about an hour. And then you're going to start checking it, and that liquid's going to start going away. But these things are going to get, man, they're going to make your house smell like you cooking Brunswick stews. It's just, you better have something to eat while they cook, is all I know to tell you, or go outside. So mix it all up good. Try to get all that stuff off the side so it don't get crispy. Then we're going to put that lid on and throw it in the oven. And this is going to cook for 3.5 hours on 350. In the oven. You're going to stop and stir and add water if you need to, or you could add broth. If you're going to add broth, you need to make sure either it's unsalted, or if you want to taste of the juice or whatever you want to do to make sure you don't get it too salty, because you can't take the salt out. I know y'all know that. Alright, we're going to throw this in the oven. We'll see all of that. Alright, so we got the beans out. You can still see they're smoking good. Got a slotted spoon, got my funnel. Clean jar I just took out of the boiling water. We're going to put the beans in first. We're going to leave 1 inch of headspace. So you're going to measure 1 inch from the top. So we put the beans in and then we add sauce to fill it up. That 1 inch of headspace, when they say leave it, just don't question it or try to overthink it or whatever. Leave it. So I may have to end up using some of that boiling water over there for some of them. So I'm just going to just slide this over and get another jar out. Right this second. So you want your jars to get hot. You want them babies to be clean. So I washed them. They're clean. That boiling water makes them real clean. So, right here, slide this over. Bacon hanging off the end. Got a towel down, yes, I've learned. Cleaning up, throwing this thing in the washing machine is a lot easier than trying to wipe down the whole house. Which I'm going to have to do anyway, probably. But here we go. I really think we can get 3 quarts and a pint out of this. But I can't cook them both at the same time in the same canner. I could fire my other one up and put 1 pint in it, I guess, or double it and have. I'd have 3. I could put, yeah, that wouldn't work. I don't know. Anyway, working on what we got right now. Nice jar. 3 quarts for this recipe. And then you're going to have some leftovers too. Ain't a bad thing, because you want to know what they taste like when you're canning them. It gives you something to eat. A couple of people eat at supper that night. And then 3 jars. And at some point I probably will go back and make 6 pints out of this, because a quart and a pint is probably about what we need for a meal, just for us 6. Shake them down just a little bit. That'll probably hold a little more. Now we're going to fill them all up with sauce. That's hot. It says if you don't have enough sauce, you can add boiling water, but I gotta tell you, this sauce is full of flavor. Alright, right there a minute. So normally I have some vinegar that I wipe the rims of these jars with, and of course I'm out today, cold sprayed around the yard with the vinegar that I had, and I am out. But you want to make real sure that what's around the top of that rim is clean. Inside don't really matter, but the top and the outside, you want to make sure there's no mess on it. So I just got some water and some elbow grease in going on this right here. The other thing you can do is put some vinegar in your water when you're canning, and it'll keep the water spots down on your jars and lids, mainly the lids. You don't really see them on the jars as much, if that's something that bothers you. Alright, so we're just going to dunk these in hot water. This is still boiling over here. Just get them hot. Normally I take a, I can do it now. this type stuff. But you can take something and go around and get the air bubbles out. Go around these jars. I haven't had any problems with these, just doing them like they are, but when you're canning peas or green beans or something and it's a lot of water, this is really thick. So there's still, I mean, you can still see around the bottom right there, there's air bubbles coming up to the top. So anyway, all right. So we got lids. Dry them good, make sure they're real clean. You don't want any soap or anything around this. This is what you're, if this don't seal, you have wasted all this time. You don't want to do that. So we're going to dry all these off. Right there like that. One more thing, when you're doing this, when you have these lids, make sure there's no dents around this outside right here. If there's a bunch of dents or any dents at all or any kind of imperfection at all and it won't get that good seal, you're wasting your time. Throw that thing away and get you another one. If that's all you got and you want to try it, go with it. But if it ain't, I'm saying, this is just today. These baked beans take forever, but they're good. I mean, if they wasn't good, I wouldn't be doing a second batch of them. I'll tell you that right now. And you can go to town and you can buy some bushes and they're good too. It's just up to what you like, what you want to do. If you want to know what goes in it and put it in there yourself, do it like this. If you want to go buy some, have at it. So we're going to shut all these. We're not going to over tighten them because they're going to tighten more once they seal. Just a little bit of hand tight stuff going on right there. And then we're going to carry them over to the canner. I'll see you in just a second.
Go.
So I poured some water out of this thing a while ago and told you I was going to add some hot water to it. So I poured about half of it out. So there's the line on the other side over there. You probably can't see it. But anyway, I put it up to the line and then the jars are going to raise it up some more once I put them in there. And I'm coming with them. Things up with this handler, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to walk across the house with this thing and wonder if it's going to be still hanging on to it when I get back. That's a lot to spill. If y'all can see outside, you can see them trying to get the cows in this other pasture for some hay. They want some grass so bad. Now that it's dark, it was a great time to move them. Anyway, all right, here we are. So this is 3 of them. This is the batch that we got with this particular recipe. And I'm going to put a screenshot of that at the end of this so you can see out of the ball book now. This ain't something I Googled, which I did Google it, but this is out of the ball book, this recipe. So the water is where it should be. Hang on, bud. We got 3 jars. They're not on touching the sides. They're not touching each other. That's a big thing. So you want them to have room. They're going to sit right here and not move, but that water is going to bubble. So you don't want them to beat against each other and the glass to break. So we're going to put this down just like it says to in the manual. If you're going to get a canner, know everything about it. Read that manual. I'm not really big on reading instructions. Never have been. But this is one thing you don't skip out on. Pay some instructions. You better know what it says and how to do it. Unless you real tight with your insurance company and want a new roof or something such as that. So we say pressure can. That's what we want to do. These are going at 90 minutes. Quarts go 95. Yeah, say 90. All right, so 95 minutes for these quarts. Pints go different time. And it's all in the screenshot. I'm going to put it at the end of this video. So quarts, 95 minutes. That's what we're doing. So we're going to go with that. This is the warming up period that we done skipped with our boiling water. It's warming up. It's gonna beep every single time it does anything, and to start with, it kind of aggravated me, but I realized there's a reason for that. So it's just reminding me, hey, it's time to come do something. And now I'm glad, because I know, hey, I can go do whatever, and this thing's gonna let me know the next time it's ready for me to do something else with it. So here's our weight. It's not on. It's gonna sit over here out of the way till it tells us it's time to put it on there. So what it's gonna do is warm up, and then once it warms up, it's gonna vent. There's a little vent hole right there. That's where the weight goes. It's locked. It's got water. It's got jars. They're not touching. We good. Next, we'll let you know what it's asking for. All right. So it's done with the 95 minutes. Now it says cool. And these little dots will go across here for a while. And the paper says that it can go up to 1.5 hours. I don't think it's ever took that long for mine, but tonight may be the first time it does. I hope not. So when it gets to the point that it's cool, it'll beep, and then it'll count down 10 minutes. And you'll come in here and remove the regulator. The vent at that point should be dropped. And you can open it up and remove your jars and let them cool on the countertop. Alright, so we are done. It counted down to 0, said done. I hit the X, held it down for 3 seconds, took the regulator off. When I did that, the vent dropped. So now I can unlock it. Once that comes up. That's hot. Alright. I'll very carefully take these out. Set them right here to cool for tonight. You're not going to touch the top to see if it's sealed. You're going to leave it alone, or you will burn your finger. Sit right there. Unplug that thing. Let them hang out. Morning. Here's our beans. Now that you can see them in the light. Dark brown color. You can see some of that bacon down on the side right there. It's sealed. You can press down, it don't pop back up. We did good. It's cold. Cows are out there eating hay. Had to build a fire. Well, that's how you make beans, people. Or how I do anyway. Good luck.